Welcome in, college football fans, to another episode of Fan Addict on the Fan Addict Sports Network. I'm your boy, Coach I, man. We're here for our week 3 college football picks. Let's get into it.
The fanatic, where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk, you know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC, the fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what.
All right, man. If you are new to the channel, man, we talk college football all the time, man. Every week we give out game previews, weekly picks. We got 2 live streams. We got a live stream on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We bring on other um college football content creators and recap the day's games. It's called a Saturday Night Snap Count. Make sure you tune in to that. Come in, get in the chat, have a good time with us, man. We also have a live stream every Tuesday at 8 p.m. where it's just Georgia football, talking to former Georgia football players and some current Georgia football players. So that's another good one, man. So just check in with us, man. Comment in the videos, like and share it with your fan base. Yes, with your fan base. So on to the picks, man. Each week we pick 10 games against the spread or the over under. We'll give out a score, but that's not the part that you pay attention to as far as that's concerned. Hey, when you talk about it, we're talking about the spreads and the over and or the over unders. Now, just a disclaimer, we are not bookies, we're not Vegas insiders or anything like that. So these are just for entertainment purposes only. Do not take these to the bank. All right. Just an update. In week 1, I was 5-5. In week 2, I improved just slightly. I was 6-4, looking to go better than 6-4 this week. These spreads and over unders do come from Bet US. So if you want to check behind me, it is from Bet US. 10 games. Let's get it started. First up on the docket is Oregon State at San Diego State, man. Oregon State so far has been, comfortably moving along. DJU looks like he's more comfortable being out on the West Coast again. And the Oregon State team is very good, man. They were good before he got there, and he's looked to fit right in, man. You got San Diego State coming into town, and Oregon State is a 24.5 point favorite. I'm going to take San Diego State and the 24.5. I think Oregon State will win something like 41-17. Definitely comfortable, but those half points can get you in certain situations. Next game up, man, is Ole Miss versus Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, surprisingly, versus Louisville the first week looked a little bit better, or maybe Louisville is not as good as I thought they might be. I didn't think they were going to be elite, but I did think they were going to be better this year. Ole Miss definitely has a great offense, and that defense is coming along as well. They had a real tough game against Tulane, who's a real good team, coached by Willie Fritz last week. This game here, the over-under is what we're going to talk about. The over-under is 63. I'm going to take the under in this game. I think Ole Miss will get up on Georgia Tech, and in the second half, I think Quinshon Junkins and that running game will salt the clock away so that the score doesn't reach those heights. All right, third game up, man, is Syracuse at Purdue. Purdue and Syracuse had well, Purdue definitely hadn't looked to stop anybody this year, and Syracuse has scored a lot of points. So this over-under is 58.5. I'm going with the over. I think this game is going to go over. I do think Syracuse will win this game, but I think this game is going to go over. All right, next up is going to be Arkansas versus BYU. Arkansas, they lost Rocket Sanders to an injury. I think he's out like 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer. Not sure about that, but I don't think he's playing this week. But I don't think I'm not saying that they don't miss him, but they definitely still look comfortable in that offense. I just think top to bottom, they're a better team. This spread is Arkansas is giving away 9.5, so they are a 9.5 point favorites. Give me Arkansas to cover that 9.5. I think they win something similar to 31-17. Next up, we got the backyard brawl, Pitt at West Virginia. Both of these teams have lost the game here. Pitt just lost to Cincinnati. West Virginia lost to a better team, I would say, and Penn State. I think West Virginia is better than some people thought they were coming into the year. Pittsburgh and at West Virginia, the over-under is what we're talking about here is 50. I think you can take the under. I think both of these run games are going to have to be successful if each of the teams expect to win. I don't know who will stop who, but I'm thinking I'm going to take West Virginia in this game to win this game. But I think it's definitely going to be under something kind of like 21-17 there in that realm. All right, one of the SEC games of the week: Tennessee at Florida. Listen, man, Tennessee normally is a scoring juggernaut. Um, haven't been as good as they were with Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt, of course, the Biletnikoff winner, things of that nature. I think Milton can throw the ball a long way. I think every other throw in the intermediate is here and there. Their offense just hasn't looked the same. They are a 6.5 point favorites going into the swamp, which is a place that hasn't been friendly to them. I think it's either since 2000 or maybe all time. Florida fans correct me, but I think Tennessee's only won like 5 times there, maybe all time. Something crazy like that. So I'm actually taking Florida to cover this spread, the 6.5. And if I had to pick a winner, I think Florida outright wins this game, just to be honest with you. I think as long as they don't turn the ball over, I think they can go toe to toe with them just because, like I said, I don't think that Tennessee offense is as high powered as it was last year. That's just my personal opinion. And they're going into the swamp, which is a very hard place to play. So give me Florida to cover that 6.5, man. All right, next game up, man, is Washington at Michigan State. Michigan State going through turmoil right now. Coaches doing a whole bunch of some stuff. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's currently suspended. That's Mel Tucker from Michigan State. I think at the end of the day, he will be fired, but he definitely won't be on the sideline. I want to say their secondary coach is the interim, their defensive back coach is the interim coach or something like that. But either way, I think if Mel Tucker was on the sideline or not, Washington is going to definitely have too much offense. This spread is Washington is 16-point favorites here. I definitely think they were going to cover the 16 points, even though, like I said, they don't have. It's not like they have the best defense. Their offense is just their offense is the best. Is their best defense because they put so much pressure on you to score. I think they covered this 16. I think something like 45-21. I think Michigan State will come out fired up, trying to prove everybody wrong. But at the end of the day, Michael Penix in that offense would just be way too much. All right, next game on the slate is OU. That's Oklahoma at. I'm sorry, I put versus Tulsa. It's at Tulsa, but like some of my OU friends have told me, this is going to basically be a home game. It's less than 2 hours away. I think it's only like 87, 80, 80, 80 something miles or something, something like that. But so it's really like, just going to a different stadium that day. It'll be mostly OU in the stadium. Tulsa's a 27.5 point underdog in this game. I'm gonna take Tulsa and the 27.5. I think Oklahoma wins something like 40-13, just missing out barely with that half a point. I know I may regret it, but I'm gonna go with Tulsa and the 27.5. Still, Oklahoma gonna blow them out the doors. I just think that half a point may get them in the end. All right, man. 2 more games to go, man. You got game day going to Boulder, Colorado for the in-state rivalry of Colorado versus Colorado State. Colorado State's only played 1 game so far. They were off last week, if I'm not mistaken. They played Washington State in week 1. Washington State won 50-24. I see a lot of similarities between Washington State's offense and Colorado's offense. I think Colorado actually has better skill players and definitely a better trigger man, and Shadur Sanders. So I see the game going similar. Colorado is a 22.5 point favorite here. I know it's an in-state rivalry. I don't know much about the level of intensity of the rivalry. I assume Colorado State's going to come out and try to shock the world, so to say. But I think in the end, Colorado just has too much offense for them. I mean, Colorado's putting up 500 plus offense each game so far. So I got Colorado covering this 22.5, something like 49-21. And the last game on the slate is my Georgia Bulldogs taking on South Carolina, and I did this because we did have a preview for the Colorado State game. Go check that out on the channel. Also got a preview for the UGA versus South Carolina. UGA is 26.5 point favorites now. I think South Carolina is going to come in. They always look to try to play us hard because from their from their point of view, Georgia's a rival. From Georgia's point of view, it's more like South Carolina is a conference opponent that you have to take serious. Um, but at the end of the day, I think we're just too deep all around offense and defense for South Carolina to hang. I got the score as 42-17. That is a 25-point differential, meaning that I am taking South Carolina and a 26.5 to cover the spread, but still UGA walking away with a win very easy. There you have it, man. Those are the 10 games for college football picks for week 3. Get in the comments. Let me know what you agree with, disagree with, and any other games that you might be interested in. There it is, man. I'm Coach I for the Fan Addict Sports Network.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off their plate?